Alright, bit of an announcement video, but I'm gonna crack on with a bit of backstory as to what's happening. So, I'm thinking, well, I've kind of been off the Discord a bit lately, maybe in the last month or so, I've been kind of, especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks anyway, but the last month I've probably been a bit laid back with it, and the same with just charts in general. I've not really been looking at much. Life's kind of got in the way. I was on holiday in Canada, which was really nice. I've got family over there, so I was visiting them. And then came back, and then 2 days later, my girlfriend got admitted to hospital, and she was there for two or 3 nights. So I was up to Dundee to see her, back down, and then a few days after that, her great granddad died, who was 96. So pretty devastating stuff. So I was up and down there a lot, and up there, spending time with her family, and just being as good as a partner as I could be. So kind of even the last week, really, I've just been getting back into stuff. It kind of reminds you that life's too short, and sometimes stuff just gets in the way of life, and you just need to let it happen. Like, obviously a passing of a family member is so unfortunate, but when that happens, you have to just be there for your loved ones, and that's what I had to do. So other than that, I mean, the market's been pretty slow anyway, so it was kind of an ideal time, not an ideal time for it to happen, but I've not had to be as active because nothing's really been happening, which is good. But whilst I was away, I spoke about it a bit on holiday, and then since I've been back, I've been kind of thinking about it too, about kind of leveling up a bit on the Discord. I've been running a free Discord for about a year now, so probably last June-ish time was when I started kind of posting. And since then, I think Bitcoin was at $30,000. Since then, I kind of had a plan which I posted publicly of like where I want to buy, where I want to invest, what I want to buy. So it dropped down to the zones that I thought. Started buying. For example, we bought things like FET at 0.18. Now it's at $2.50, so that's like 10, 12 times your money on that. Is it even more? Yeah, about 12 to 15 times your money on that. Things like OXO, we were buying at 0.04. That's at like 0.35 now. It's been up at 0.50. So like 10 times your money there. Things like Ator has done like 4 times. Just a few other different ones. Things like OPSEC, which done like, I think it was an 11x in like a month, which is just insane. But there's been some great calls on the Discord. If you've been following from the start, then and you've actively invested, then you've made a good chunk of money, I hope, with some of the calls. Oh, sorry, boys. I always follow these things at like the latest. It's 9:30. So yeah, it's been a good year. Learned a lot. I think because I put myself on the line with what I'm doing, and people listen and people do it, then there's a lot of responsibilities with it. But also when it goes right, like it has in the last year, then I'm like, fuck yeah, that was amazing. And I want to help you guys as much as I can. But there comes a time where, like now, where I want to talk about stuff that's very advanced. Like for example, in the last few weeks, I mean, there's a new trading strategy that which you probably saw in the Discord that I've been using, and it's been going really well. Some like 5, 7, 10, I think even like an 18% trade. All in the last week, which has been really, really good. I've made a good amount of money doing that as well in the last week, and hopefully it continues as the train goes by the house. Hopefully that continues, but I want to explain how I'm doing that and how I'm like executing these trades, and it's a strategy that I've kind of learnt off a few different people, but I want to. There's 40 people in the Discord, which is a lot of people, and I think about 15 to 20 people are actually active, and there's probably five to 10 people that are like pretty switched on. Oh, so sorry. They're pretty switched on with like investing or trading, or they know what they're doing. They kind of know what they're looking for. I want to be able to speak to them about like more advanced stuff, but in a place where it's only me and them. Because there's probably people on this that don't really have an interest in it or whatever, and when I'm talking to an audience, which I am on this, I don't want to like go into such detail that most people won't understand, because I don't want to boggle their minds. Whereas if I'm in a group for like 5, 6, 7 people, and they understand and they're on the same wavelength as what I'm talking about, then it's gonna up my game in terms of the content that I'm making, as well as up their game, because they're getting this kind of elite service, really. So I'm thinking about doing an elite service, going kind of premium with stuff. Maybe gonna charge like I think it's £8 a month, and it'll be through Patreon. You'll pay through Patreon, and then there'll be videos going on Patreon, as well as on a new Discord which you'll be invited to. So you have the Deep End normal Discord, and then you have the Deep End Elite. So the Deep End Elite is going to be pay per month. It's going to be £8. It will basically go to me, and I don't want it to seem as if I'm doing it for the money, because I'm not, because I don't want to toot my own horn, but £8 a month from like 6 or 7 people isn't that much to me. I've made a lot of money in this space over the last year, so it doesn't matter. But to me, it's more the principle of it, like the content that I'm giving you then has value, because it's worth £8 a month. Does that make sense? So that I'm not just thrown out there for anyone to see. It's actually like very precise stuff, only tailored to you. The elite section will then have like, I'm not going to post any more of what I'm buying on the Deep End. It will be on the elite section, what I'm buying and selling. I'll do a few market updates on the normal Deep End, but they'll be more precise and like actual plans of action on the elite section. In terms of what I'm actually holding in terms of my portfolio, that will all be on the elite section, and that will be like percentages and even maybe like the actual amount of money I've got in it, so you can see where I'm coming from. The BitGet 1k to 10k, the trading journal, stuff like that, that's all going to be onto the elite section. So I'm not taking everything away from the normal Deep End. I'm going to keep the education section on it, for example, the free course as well. There'll still be videos and stuff and good content going on the normal Deep End. But in my opinion, if you're really serious about it and you have money in it, then the Deep End Elite is going to be the better option. There'll also be a stock section and a commodities section in terms of like gold, silver, even like trading the euro or buying euros or changing my money into certain currencies, as well as stocks. I've not dabbled too much in it, but I'm gonna proper get into it probably over the next few months. Stuff like that will be in it. Also more like unique stuff in terms of like if I go live, for example, let's say I'll do a live every week on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and you can join the live and ask me questions. It'll be more of a conversation instead of me just posting stuff that's on my head. We can actually speak about things. You can say, like, for example, what do you think of Ethereum? What price do you think it's going to go in the next 4 or 5 months? And I'll give you like a rough estimate. Or if you were interested in buying, say, let's say you were interested in buying Solana, for example, and I've never spoke about Solana before, and then you say to me, right, what do you think of Solana and where do you think I should buy? Then I can go on the chart and say, right, if you're looking at Solana, then this is where you want to be buying. The reason that I'm telling you this and think it's going to be here is because X, Y, and Z. And then you can kind of get more of a personalized approach instead of me just posting stuff that I'm interested in. There will also be a section where you can do like a one-to-one. So if say you're new into crypto, or say you come to money, say you I don't know, you get a bonus from your job and you get $2,000 and you say, right, I'm going to put all this in crypto. I don't know what to do with it. So then you can say buy a half hour with me and we'll sit down and we'll talk. Half hour, it can go on for longer, I don't really care. It'll just be a meeting in general. But it can go, we can sit down and say, right, how much risk do you want to take? What kind of assets do you want to buy? How much do you want to keep over? What is your predicted, what do you want from it? And we can work out from there a good plan for you. So there'll be that as well on the personalized approach. There's also, I'm going to look into copy trading, which is basically on BitGet, for example, the platform that I trade on, I can open a copy trading thing. So whatever trade I take, you take the trade as well automatically. So say you put £500 into it and I'm making 3 trades a day, then automatically you're going to open the same trades. So it's quite interesting with that as well. That's something that I'll maybe dabble in, depending how good the trading strategy goes. So stuff like that, as well as just I want to make it so that it's more of a community, because I feel like sometimes when I talk on this, it just there's the same people always viewing it. So I'm like, why don't I get all them in a group and we can actually have a proper group instead of just, I don't know, 40 people on it. Some people view it, some people don't. So the normal deep end isn't done. There's going to be still loads of stuff on that. But there'll be new courses, courses that I've bought that you can then go and look at on the Deep End Elite. I've bought a course in September, a guy called Crypto that I've spoke about before. He does a 4-week course. I've got all the files for that, so I'm happy to share that with you. Things like liquidity heat maps, which I pay $80 a month for. I'll just share them in the Deep End Elite as well. So there's going to be a lot of content on it, and it'll be more personal. You can ask any questions you want. I'll give you any reply you want. I just want to make it so that there's a group of maybe 10 people, for example, all just making money, and the value of it's going to be really good. So yeah, the Deep End Elite is launched as of tonight. If you want to join, then it will be automatic. You go into Patreon, subscribe. I think it's going to be, as I said, £8 a month, but I think it's in dollars, so I think it'll be $10 a month, which is exactly £8 a month at the moment. So I think it's worth it. If my calls make you say, I don't know, 40 quid, then there's X amount of weeks, 5 months paid for already. So take that into consideration when you say £8 a month. What am I getting from it? I think it's worth it. So the Deep End Elite is now launched, and I hope to see you there. Yeah, have a good one, boys.